You are live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday Review. As always, joined by James. Hang on, James. What's made you happy in the last week?
Oh well, I saw 4 movies at the cinema over Friday and the weekend.
What did you
That
watch?
was a good time. So on Friday night, I saw One Battle After Another and 70 mil at Astor, and then Saturday we went to see The Smashing Machine. And then Sunday we saw Residence, and then I saw the new Dracula movie, Dracula: A Love Tale. So it was a good time.
Yeah, good. So that's a good old days James numbers. 4 in a weekend. Also joined by Alum. Hang on, Alum. What's made you happy in the last week?
I'm good, thank you. What's made me happy in the last week is finding out that Slow Horses is back for another season.
Yeah,
Yes,
every
Alum,
Wednesday.
if you listen to our show,
Which I don't
which
listen
you
to the
don't.
show.
Very
Can we issue it a correction as well?
Well, we'll finish the intro.
Yeah.
Also joined by Callum. Hang on, Callum. What's made you happy in the last week?
I've started rewatching My Hero Academia, so I finished season 1, and it made me happy because there are moments where it has a sense of superhero wonder like you get in like old Superman kind of stuff where he will save the day and you're just like, wow, All Might's cool. I know it sounds childish, but it's so well designed and it's so well written, and it's like the X-Men that there are times where they pull off acts of heroism and you're just like, man, Marvel sucks. Superheroes are cool. Do you know what I mean? And like, fun fact, I'm pretty sure like My Hero Academia does more numbers than like all of Marvel combined or something ridiculous like that. So
Anime nerds versus Marvel nerds.
So
It's not even close.
Yeah.
superheroes are cool. It is what it is. It's just maybe not Western superheroes.
Well, Western superheroes
Used to be cool.
It's just the
Oversaturation,
The
yeah.
oversaturation of the movies has changed things.
Out of curiosity, Callum, do you watch subbed or dubbed?
I personally watch dub because I like the Rick and Morty aspect of it.
Oh gosh, All Might.
Oh gosh, All Might, what are you gonna do, All Might?
Oh gosh, All Might. Quick superhero battle.
But also the dub is I think the dub is pretty good.
I've listened to both the sub and the dub, though I prefer to generally just watch the sub with most anime. I have no qualms with that dub. I think it's pretty well done.
Very good.
What about you, Nathan?
As for me, what's made me happy is, I guess, just, the shenanigans over the weekend made me happy. Going to see Residence and supporting, friend of the show, Matt Myers, in his feature film at Monster Fest, which was technically, the second world premiere the movie had, but we're not going to hold that against him.
I guess the first
It was the first
public.
that was widely available for the public and advertised as such. Where the first one we went to when James
like
wasn't
invite.
here was like invite only kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it was the first time James got to see it on the big screen.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah.
Sounded good.
Some like the visual effects and stuff really popped. I think it was a good
They were
time.
much better,
Yeah.
Although I awkwardly fawned over Luke Benson, who plays Tim in the movie. So apologies to Luke Benson for being like, oh my god, you're so funny.
We made it clear to Matt when he came on the show, like Luke Benson was the best, and we wanted to interview him and to tell him how awesome he was.
And so I awkwardly achieved that, and I awkwardly handed him a card. I'm sorry, Luke.
So that was a good time. They had a Q&A afterwards.
And he was very funny in the Q&A too.
Yes.
We had this giggling.
Yeah.
I'm glad also friends of the show, Ross and David, got to come as well.
Yeah.
So
Good
that
time.
was good.
There was a good reaction, like the funny.
I think everyone was laughing pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The humor hit.
Yeah.
So that was a good time.
I feel like it was a good movie selection for like Monster Fest. Mm-hmm. Like I think it was a good fit for the whole theme.
Yeah. Definitely,
Yeah. Anyway.
Callum, did you have a what was that?
Somebody told me, and I'm not going to name names, so it most definitely wasn't my mother. It said that the Lincoln Lawyer, the new season was going to be coming out in October.
No, that was me last week.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So on the show.
Oh, so you're the culprit.
Yeah. So if on the show we were talking about it, and I looked it up. Actually, let me look it up now. Link.
Because I looked that up
Anyway,
too.
it's coming out in February.
Yeah, I was getting excited. I'm like, October.
Yeah, no, because I recall this happening. I actually had to look at.
Is it Google Gemini?
Blame
James?
blame IMDb. It's still on there.
Yeah,
Callum,
the retraction retracted.
Yeah, it's literally still says 16th
you
of
go home
October.
and apologise to your mother.
I will.
It's funny because
apologize to me. Thank you very much.
I also expected when I was looking up for Slow Horses, I initially looked up Lincoln Lawyer, I'm pretty sure, because I saw a YouTube clip of it. I'm like, I got to find out when the show's back. And I could have sworn that we were talking about it coming later on this year. But obviously, I think it's...
Look, I hope it's right, because,
February.
Three out of 4 of the boys in the studio right now love that show.
Yeah.
James hasn't seen it. Have you seen it all?
No.
I think that he likes it spiritually.
Yeah, I mean, well, you guys keep saying it's good, so eventually I will watch it, but it's not... It's, my list is so long that I can't say I'm going to get to it anytime soon.
I'm presuming I got the late. I'm presuming the original release date would have been in October.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone else have any other thoughts for the Monster Fest resident screening?
No, it was a good time. I hope that Matt can get the movie, a proper release, a wide release soon.
Was that its only showing at Monster Fest?
Yeah, there was only one.
Okay.
And he's going to LA to show the film.
And they're doing the Zombie Fest,
January,
Zombie Walk, whatever
Zombie
it is.
Walk in Sydney, yeah, so that'll be cool.
And they're organising some screenings in other states.
Yeah, so hopefully, in the next year or so, we'll...
Keep an eye on our Instagram, because I'm sure we'll be posting and reposting.
Yeah, always...
Love hiding all the posts and whatnot.
Yeah, keep an eye on our social media and keep an eye on the Residents. I think it's Residents the Movie.
Yeah.
At Residents the Movie. And there's at residentsthemovie.com as well. .com.au maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
so check that out.
We'll keep people abreast of all the goings on with Residents.
Yes. Also, last week we also mentioned our friend Ross Purdy. He's doing a David Lynch-inspired comedy show for Melbourne Fringe, which is from October 7 to October 12, 9 p.m. At the... What's the venue called? Let me check.
Somewhere in Collingwood, I believe.
Yeah, it is in Collingwood. It is called Transcendence. Transcendence in Collingwood, October 7 to 12 at 9 p.m. Definitely check that out if you like wacky comedy, if you like David Lynch.
What's the name of the show?
The name of the show is Ross Purdy Performs at the Black Lodge, in brackets, one night only, in brackets, 25 years. So, yeah, check that out. We did a giveaway on our social media, some free tickets. So that's closed at the moment because I think we gave away all the tickets. But keep an eye on our social media. There might be some more. We'll update.
Or unless someone says they can't make it and they go, I forget who we get.
Maybe, yeah. But definitely check that out. It'll be
Ask
a good time.
if they want to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, You just invite someone out from the Black Lodge.
Yeah.
Maybe don't.
No, definitely. That'll end badly.
But so keep an eye on our socials for all things related to what we're doing.
Yes.
That includes as well, PAX is coming up.
Yes, PAX.
Nice segue. Like that, boys.
Very good. PAX is this Friday and the weekend, October 10, 11 and 12. We'll be there. So if you're around, let us know. Very excited to see all the cool games and stuff.
Interview some interesting people.
Yeah, we've already got some interviews lined up, so that'll be good. Last week, we were talking about, the exhibitors and who was there. And I had it on my phone, and now it's gone. So classic James's phone moment.
That's okay. You can revisit our past episodes.
No, this is the whole point was that last week we were like, oh yeah, who's there? And I was like,
we have heads from ZeniMax is going to be there.
Rich Lambert. If you see Rich Lambert on the floor, pull him aside and say, mate, the Tuesday Review wants to be able to do dungeons with companions and not with groups.
In Elder Scrolls Online, that's right.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Is Josh Sawyer? I believe Josh Sawyer is going to be there, of Pentiment fame.
Yeah. We did talk about that.
Nintendo is going to be there. Xbox is going to be there. Yeah. Steam is going to be back, I believe.
Yeah.
Nintendo, I think.
Xbox is showing off the ROG Ally X, the Xbox version.
There's also going to be I'm presuming it's the Australian tournament, or could be the world, of the Rainbow Six Siege competition.
Okay.
So if you're interested in first-person shooter competitions, check out that esport event. And I think there's like thousands of dollars on the line as well, so it's a big one.
Cool.
Not too bad. Shit.
Nintendo, Xbox, The Sims, Devolver Digital, Bethesda, Gearbox, Ubisoft, Aftershock, eBay, Earthlings, Modern Games, Red Bull, Australian Esports League. Yeah, so going to be a big
Something
show
for everyone.
Yeah, but more importantly, like we discuss every year, we're really looking forward to seeing all the indie games and
supporting local and regional talent.
Tabletop
Yes.
card
Shout
games.
out to the
and
New
stuff.
Zealand game devs.
Yes.
I'm a proud NZ citizen.
Also, they have some of the coolest games.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
There also where all the interesting
Yeah.
stuff is.
Yeah.
Who cares about what Nintendo's doing?
No.
Everyone knows what Nintendo's doing.
We're all about the indies.
Nintendo's going to do what Nintendo's going to do.
That's it. Look, a general motif of this entire show has always been we're more about the indies.
Yeah.
That applies to everything. That applies to film,
Yeah.
music.
I like
games.
mainstream
Yeah,
big blockbuster stuff, but that
that's
gets
not where the creativity
that
is.
already gets all the
Yeah.
advertising and all the press exactly. So
And most of the time, the more interesting ideas are not coming from the AAA.
definitely,
Because
yeah,
they're playing it safe.
yeah. Especially now that everything's gone to hell.
Yeah.
Just generally, everything. The bigger the company, the bigger the product, the more money they spend on it. Doesn't mean it's going to be good.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So,
guess
yeah,
we'll move on.
Excited
into
for that. Make sure you
films.
subscribe to our YouTube because we'll have exclusive video content and PAX interviews up on there.
Also, you recorded the Q&A from the resident.
Yes, I did. I still have to upload that.
But that'll be coming too.
Yes, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll move on. Callum and James got the opportunity to watch the new Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson smash hit, The Smashing Machine.
Well, it's not really a smash hit.
Yeah, but it is in your hearts.
Yeah, it was a good movie. So Bennie Safdie has directed the new movie starring The Rock called The Smashing Machine, which is about Mark Kerr, who was a MMA fighter in the late 90s, early 2000s, who I'm not really familiar with. I wasn't really familiar with that whole, the UFC world and all that.
It didn't really exist in the same way that it does now. Back then.
Yeah, well, that's
which is a part of the film, which I thought was interesting. So I thought this film was going to be all about the UFC in the early days. I was surprised to find out that before UFC was a thing, there was Japan MMA, and that was like what they did.
That was and like the UFC in America and stuff, wasn't even really that big. It was like sort
just
of
emerging,
a more niche thing, And now it's this huge
behemoth.
Whereas that was an interesting part of the movie. How it was just
there's like one fight in the octagon, and then the rest of the time it's in Japan.
Yeah,
and I was like, this movie is not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and honestly, it wasn't really about the fights at all, which I think disappointed some people or might mislead some people if they go to see it. But it's more just a character drama about The Rock playing Mark Kerr and like his struggles.
Struggles with addiction, struggles with
and
his family.
Relationship with Emily Blunt's character. And this is all based on a true story, which I wasn't familiar with, so I went in blind. And I think...
And it's loosely adapted or based on / inspired by a documentary called The Smashing Machine.
Yeah, there was a 2002 documentary called The Smashing Machine, which I watched after...
Yeah, I was there. So James very sagely said, don't watch the documentary, wait until after. Yeah, because then like if you watch the documentary, you're going to be waiting for this moment to happen in the drama.
Because usually you want to know like the background of a movie before you watch it. Like let's
not
watch.
Always,
not always, but I was like, I'm going to wait so that because I have no idea what this movie's about, except I know it's about a fighter. So I didn't want to be waiting for certain bits that were in the documentary. I'm glad I did that because the documentary, the 2002 documentary, The Smashing Machine, this new movie with The Rock is kind of like a narrative adaptation of that, where it just takes that.
So it's not 1-to-1.
It's not 1-to-1, but it does
it's the same arc.
It's the same sort of follows the same sort of late 90s journey. It recreates a lot of the scenes that are in the documentary. In one way, it was like that was a bit disappointing because I was like, he's just taking the documentary, which already exists, and is just making a cinematic narrative version. But on the other hand, I was like, it's interesting. I think I've seen a lot of criticisms of the movie that it's boring and then it's the fights aren't good and it's not about the fighting and it's wrong. And I would say this is not a sports drama in a regular sense. This is not Rocky.
It's not the Iron Claw either.
Yeah, exactly. This is more just like a portrait of this guy.
Yeah,
I
and
think
The fighting is almost secondary, which some people have a problem with, but I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting.
when the fighting is in the film, though, it's kind of vicious.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
And the sound design for the fights is brutal. When you hear they
And
must have been
this is-
slapping the stakes in the back of a butcher's.
And this is like, UFC now is brutal, but back in the day, there were like
Less
no
regulation,
rules.
yeah,
It was like you
yeah.
can eye gouge, you can just
Yeah.
split people's
Oh yeah,
gashes
there's like
open.
scenes where Mark Kerr, like in the start, you get like this montage of like his early fights where he's making a name for himself.
Yeah.
And he's just like The Rock punching as hard as he can, another guy in the head repeatedly.
Yeah.
And it's these wet sounds.
Oh,
and it's awful to listen to.
yeah.
I think also what people might be disappointed by a movie like this is that it's not Marvelified. It's not like action, quick cuts. It's not snappy.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the camera work, because it's shot in almost a documentarian style way, where it's like you get the character moments where it's shot like a film, but then when it's around in the sports area, it kind of takes on a different tone.
I think even the character moments is very handheld, like documentary style, and it's got this Safdie brothers kind of energy to like the characters moving, and it's like it doesn't feel polished and very mainstream movie. It's like more a bit, but it doesn't have the energy of like Good Time or Uncut Gems. It's not like an anxiety driven it's more mellow in a weird way, which again I think some people are disappointed by. But I was like, this is interesting. It's like
Very
this weird, quiet character drama about this huge, strong guy who fights people
and he's
beats them to a pulp.
He's also a softie.
But who's just like a real softie who's just softly spoken and
Callum
like a
told
nice guy.
Callum told me about a scene at like a fair or something like that.
There's a ride. And he's like, I can't go on my
he
my
can't go on
tummy.
the ride because he's like my tummy, and then the guy's like, well then don't go on the ride, and he's trying to be tough, like, oh no I want to go on, but I'm just wondering.
And then it cuts to him on a carousel.
The horsey on the merry-go-round.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a great gif.
But this is Dwayne Johnson's best performance, I think, hands down. I haven't seen his whole body of work, but I'm presuming it doesn't get better than this.
We've talked a lot about before how The Rock isn't an actor, he's a brand. Like you put The Rock in your movie, you know exactly what that movie's going to be. Yeah, it's like, okay, he does the same movie over and over again, whether it be Journey to Center Earth or Jumanji or The Jungle Cruise. It's the same, it's the same CGI. It's the same kid-friendly CGI garbage.
But
so
he delivers an emotionally complicated performance. It's also a subtle performance too, because it's not only him getting in a rage or him crying. It's these awkward moments and like these tense silences.
Also, one thing I haven't seen being discussed, I haven't looked up all the reviews or anything, but one thing I haven't really seen is like the portrayal of mental health in the movie. It's not really explored, which might be, again, a problem people have with the movie. But I think it's interesting the way The Rock and Emily Blunt play their characters and just the scenes we do see them in. It's just like, these people have issues that are relatable.
And there's no exposition, which is like, do you know, like you have to connect the dots yourself, because they don't turn to the camera and say...
And there's no grand arc of like he has to overcome his addiction and win at the end and defeat Ivan Drago and I've ended the Cold War single-handedly like Rocky. It's not that. It's just like this guy, he does this thing, he's good at it, he doesn't know how to do anything else, and it's just like, it's very. I think some people don't like this movie because it's not a conventional sports drama, and some people say it maybe just should have been a conventional sports drama, and I can see that argument. I
feel like that movie's been done.
Exactly. What I think's interesting about The Smashing Machine is it has this softer, more free-flowing. I heard a reviewer describe it as jazzy.
Well, the score.
Yeah. So not only is it this free-flowing kind of documentary style, kind of loose narrative of this guy, which some people are like, oh no, I just want a straightforward, like he has an arc and the end, beginning, middle, end. but yeah, not only that, but yeah, the score is really good and really interesting.
It's like this light electric jazz.
Yeah,
like
it's
funk.
weird, and yeah, and
It's
I'm like,
really, really pleasant to listen to.
I think that's what makes the movie interesting to me, and I think to Callum as well, is like, oh, this isn't just another sports drama. Yes, the character development and the sort of arc of his, career journey and the fights and stuff, maybe those aren't satisfying or well-rounded or as explored as they could have been. But what we get instead is this jazzy kind of like, we're just following this guy and he's doing this thing.
It's also not the hero's journey, which is probably what puts a lot of people off. Because when you think about your typical, even like a team sports movie, it's like the hero's journey kind of thing where, maybe they're the underdog and they
exactly.
But with this one, he's already
that's the other thing. The movie starts, he's already like
the top.
Undefeated.
Yeah, and then it's about how do you deal with the fallout of losing when, as far as you're concerned,
but then it's not about
not lose.
Yeah, it's not really about his downfall either.
It's about how does he cope with the emotional fallout of losing, and then juggling his mental health on top of all this, plus a drug addiction.
Yeah,
and and then all of that happening all at the same time, which gives it that frenetic. There's like that frenetic energy as well as he tries to juggle all this stuff.
Yeah,
and it's also just kind of funny.
Yeah,
like it's not a comedy, but like stuff happens where you're like, this is kind of funny.
Well, it has dramatic moments, has more lighthearted moments. I'd recommend watching the movie before the documentary so that you're not spoiled. But the documentary is good as well. I think The Rock is good in this movie. People are talking about Oscar buzz, whatever.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I would say though that this is a good role for him to begin his, even though he's, not getting any younger, but this is a good role for him to begin to maybe transition into some more...
The Batista-fication.
Batista-fication, yes. Like, he can still do dumb kids movies and action movies and whatever, and, I love Fast and Furious, I hope he's in those. But I think the Smashing Machine is a good role because it uses his strengths, literal the physicality of him as a wrestler and a fighter.
He also claims to have grown as an actor through this working with Benny. So like the whole atmosphere of it allowed him to like really kind of understand the craft.
That's what I'm saying. This is a good start point, like because he plays a big muscly guy, who he is in real life, and he does a version. He's playing Mark Kerr. He's doing a certain thing with the politeness and whatever. But it's not a huge leap from The Rock, right? Whereas I would like to see if someone can utilize him in a different way in the future. Yeah. Like, can someone make a Rock movie where he just plays a quote unquote normal guy?
Yeah.
I would like to see The Rock's next serious performance. If this is
I think this movie will definitely open doors for him, I guess, if people now can see that he can do it.
Maybe.
Didn't the movie do terrible in the box office, though?
Well, that's the thing. It's not doing that well.
I think this is a movie that's going to be adored by critics.
It's an A24 character drama.
But even then, some critics are like, it's mid. But I'm like, it was really interesting.
I think it's in 20 years, this will be like a cult classic.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a while, but it'll grow on people.
I think it's definitely...
It's going to be remembered fondly, I think. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I look forward to watching it.
I do think like it's worth watching, and anything that either Safdie brother does, like I'm down for.
Isn't one of The Rock's next movies something with Scorsese?
Not that I know of.
I heard that there was a rumor. I heard that
in Hawaii or
there was a rumor about that.
I'll look that up. But I'm pretty sure he was doing
that sounds familiar.
I think PTA needs to get him on board as well. I think PTA could use him.
He could work in a PTA. Yeah, I mean the way we were talking about the way PTA harnessed Adam Sandler's shtick in Punch Drunk Love, he could do that with The Rock. And then of course Adam Sandler was in Uncut Gems, which is the Safdie brothers. So
I mean, as of March, 20th Century Studios had paid for the Scorsese, Rock, Leonardo DiCaprio film about like the Hawaiian mafia.
That'll be interesting.
So I don't know. You know, there's another director now who can be like, "Oi, I've seen you do some actual acting.
Yeah, I know you can do it. Don't you play with me?" Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Smashing Machine is worth checking out. Like,
highly recommend.
It's definitely an interesting movie. Like I said, anything the Safdie brothers do. Bennie Safdie did this. Josh Safdie has Mighty Supreme coming out later this year with Timothée Chalamet. So I'm down.
The Safdie war continues.
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along?
Well, look, whether they come back together and make movies or whether they make movies separately, I don't mind.
I just hope it doesn't get ugly as one of them ends up being much better than the other, and then it's kind of like
I don't think one's better. They're
like the
both,
Coen brothers.
I don't think it'll be. I think it's. But they both do interesting projects, and I don't.
Yeah,
think,
like they're both doing interesting things, and I just want to see what they do.
Yeah.
Like, which is the better Coen brother again? Wasn't there one that's subjectively better than the other?
That's
I mean, art's subjective, but
that's a discussion for another
that's
day.
a discussion for off the air.
Yeah, I have opinions. Anyway,
like, we might go to a very quick break, and we'll be back right after these quick messages. You are back live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday review. Moving along, I guess the other notable movie we've seen is the new one by Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another.
Based on Vineland by Thomas Pynchon.
I originally wasn't going to go see this movie, but I felt guilted into it because PTA is a good filmmaker, and it's my responsibility as a film fan and a connoisseur to go to the cinemas and see an actual movie when an actual movie is being played.
Yeah, and especially this one because people were hyping the hell out of this.
Oh my god, my Twitter feed has never been so unbearable.
Then that's saying a lot considering Twitter is entirely unbearable.
And again, this movie was shot on film in VistaVision, which is a film format that I guess has some notoriety.
It's 35mm turned at the side, so it's like extra big
but
and
it's
juicy.
also been known to catch fire really
Yeah,
easily, which is
well,
why they dropped it as a format.
It hasn't been used since like the 60s or
and
something.
They moved to 70mm for a reason.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying reading articles. I'm not enjoying. I don't enjoy anyone's misfortune, but I've been enjoying reading the articles where it's like cinemas switching one battle after another to digital because the reel keeps catching fire. Yeah, they keep that to digital because the reel keeps catching fire, and they're just like, now I remember why we got rid of this thing.
They dusted off. They dusted off their old VistaVision projector. Yeah.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, the print I saw was 70mm at the Astor. But even that, like you shoot it on VistaVision and then they'd have to transfer it to 70mm. So it wasn't shot on 70mm.
No.
But I will say it looked beautiful, like nice, grainy.
Yeah.
These, when the real change happens, there's a little cigarette burn circle in the corner. Those, I was just like, oh man, it's like a warm hug. It's like there's nothing like, I'm not a film snob who's like, film and digital or whatever. Like I do like
we
when
prefer
shot
film,
but when you do watch a movie like this,
and
shot in this way specifically, because there are modern movies that are shot on film that don't look in this certain way, and obviously VistaVision and blowing it up to 7mm, that's like a whole nother thing. But yeah, this is a great cinema going experience.
Yeah, so I thought I better go. It is a great, as you said, cinema going experience. Also,
well, you guys saw it on digital projection
on extreme screen,
and
it still looked
and Callum was like amazing.
It was still possibly one of the clearest pictures we've seen in extreme screen. Like it looked fantastic.
Every pore in Sean Penn's beautiful, hideous face.
Beautiful, hideous.
And look, it did look great.
Yeah.
Although, you know what? Also, I hate you, PTA, for only showing it in VistaVision in like 3 cities. I know that's where the cameras are.
Yeah,
but
most
like
projectors,
But I'm like, but man, that's such gatekeeping. It's
but
like
it's
then they're
the
on the socials like, see it in VistaVision. You have to see it in VistaVision.
But
are you gonna?
It's the same with Tarantino and like the roadshow version of The Hateful Eight. You can only see it at certain places. It's like obviously because now most cinemas are just digital projection but it's slowly coming back because people like Nolan and Tarantino are like insist that it has to be shown on film in certain places. So there are places like Sun Theatre, the Astor, where you can
it's just like I don't like when they gatekeep and it's like you can see this movie as intended in London, New York.
That's one thing I'll say is that there was an actual media push from the studio. They made up these little punch cards, watching in one format after another. And then it was like you can tick your box, like watch it in as many. I'm like, come on, guys. I know they want to make their box office, but come on.
I know it's a bit of fun, but also to an extent, they're also pushing people away with that kind of behavior. Because if you're
a film nerd enough that you know what they're talking about and it comes up in your feed, I think you know what the deal is. For normal audiences, they aren't really going to come across. It's like when Sinners came out and it was like, here are all the different formats you can see it in. Most people are just going to go local cinema. If they're going to see it at all, are just going to go local cinema, whatever. But if you are interested, like we are, you can go, oh, okay, it's playing this here. It's only playing in this format in London.
Yeah.
That's a shame, but it's cool that
Yeah.
you
Also,
know.
before we move on, shout out to our local IMAX in Melbourne because we're very blessed to have an IMAX local to us.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of feedback from one battle after another online. Most people have to travel hours, if not catch a flight to get to an IMAX. So we're very blessed to be within driving distance of our local IMAX, which is a proper IMAX screen. Did you know there's knockoff IMAX screens in America where it's like it's IMAX in quotation
They're bringing
marks,
that here.
but it's like smaller?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, IMAX isn't IMAX unless you
used to have
can't see the
the-
top through the clouds.
Hoyts used to have the knockoff IMAX, right? Back in the day.
The extreme-
Hoyts and IMAX are partnering up for Melbourne Central.
They're doing, they're bringing the
fake IMAX
quote unquote
screen.
fake IMAX, which I'm not opposed to because sometimes when you can't
Yeah.
get to real IMAX or whatever, it would be cool to have
a
a
bigger
sort of
screen,
bigger format, in a more accessible place. So I'm not opposed to that. But Melbourne actual IMAX with the real IMAX has always been really good. For a few years, it was like the biggest screen
in the southern hemisphere.
in the Southern Hemisphere.
Probably still
And-
is.
No, I think Sydney opened back up. Yeah, damn Sydney. But Melbourne real IMAX is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool. I actually want to see One Battle After Another again in IMAX because I think it'll be interesting to see the format change. The height.
Yeah.
But anyway, the movie we should talk about.
Yeah.
PTA, amazing filmmaker. All his films are great. Possibly has an completely unrivaled run in terms of all his movies are great. I don't care what anyone says. All his movies are
They
freaking
all have
amazing.
something interesting about them.
I mean, they're all close to incredible. And so, whatever
And
he does.
He didn't have any formal training.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
don't-
best part.
Yeah, you
I
don't
just
need that.
I did read that on Wikipedia where he did 2 days in film school. Was
Yeah,
like,
he was
nah,
like,
not
this
for
sucks.
me.
Did you,
Yeah.
did you hear where he walked out after a film professor was like teaching screenplay writing, and he's like, if you're here to write Terminator 2, get out of my class.
Yeah.
And PTA was like, what bullshit is this?
Yeah. I remember he had told a story that one of his writing classes, he had to write a scene without dialogue, and he literally stole a scene from David Mamet or a really well-established screenwriter, submitted it, and the professor was like, oh, this is garbage. And he was like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and he said his film school was just watching films that he
Yeah.
loved and trying to
listening
The
replicate.
comment-
Tarantino
yeah.
film school, just work at a video shop and watch all the tapes.
Can't do that anymore. And then he also listened to director commentary to understand the composition of shots.
Must have been back in the Laserdisc days.
But,
Yeah.
so
But anyway, amazing filmmaker. Anything he does, I'm going to be there day one. So, of course, I was excited for this. This is PTA's most mainstream, most accessible film. I think all his other films, there is a slight barrier to entry. It's like,
Punch
will
Drunk Love was
people-
pretty accessible.
but it's a little bit weird. It's a little bit off kilter. It's very off kilter.
Alan watched Punch Drunk Love for the first time recently.
If we showed you that cold out of nowhere and said this is awesome, you'd be like, you might be able to see it was awesome, but it's like,
I'd
think-
have reservations.
I think
yeah, especially at the movies. If we said, "Hey, we're going to see the new Adam Sandler movie," and we went in and saw, and you saw Punch
why
Drunk
isn't he
Love,
making funny sounds and stuff?
I mean, he is, but this time he is, but in
But
Punch Drunk
they're
Love,
like,
it's based on autism
They're,
and
they're
not
like
like
the proper pain sounds. So I'm like, oh man,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like too relatable.
yeah. Too real, Roy. Too real.
But yeah, Punch Drunk Love is something completely different, and it almost stands alone in his work. I would argue, it's very. I don't think
It's
he's
the
made
most
anything-
aloof of his. I haven't seen Licorice Pizza though, so
There's always
But it's
there's
very aloof.
similarities. Yeah.
But it's very much it's an interesting movie, and it's one that we chose to show Alan of this is you've watched one battle after another. Now watch Punch Drunk Love.
There's
and
different sides to PTA.
Yeah.
And obviously, Punch Drunk Love was 2002, and it's almost 25 years. So, there's definitely changes, but you can definitely see the same guy, especially with, one battle after another is pretty funny.
It's pretty
Yes.
funny all the way through.
Yeah.
I think I decided it was his most consistently funny
I
film.
think calling it an action comedy is misleading because it's not an action comedy in the same way like Beverly Hills Cop is.
It's
Yeah.
not even
But I think
like an action film. It has action moments.
I would say so. All right, so people were hyping this movie up heaps, and then you guys saw it before me, and you were like, "It's amazing, 5 out of 5, whatever." And I'm like, "Yes, I can't wait." So I went to see it, and I loved it. I think it's great, and I think it's a special movie, and it's a type of movie we don't get much anymore. And it's a big budget Hollywood movie shot on film with practical action and stunts and effects and big Hollywood stars. It's something we don't see a lot anymore, and it's amazing, and I loved it. But I was like, I don't think it's PTA's best, and I think it's there is some criticism which we talked about, which is that maybe the characters aren't as fleshed out as they could have been, and it doesn't maybe explore some aspects of the theme, in the themes and the politics in the ways it could have explored it. And so I was like, it's great and I love it, but I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's the best.
No.
But after I thought about it some more, I'm like, as an action thriller, as an action comedy, incredible. Because even though calling it an action comedy is misleading in a certain way,
it's funny
putting it into that sort of umbrella,
Yeah.
it was like, wow, this is actually a really top-notch action comedy.
It was funny you brought that up because I was talking to someone at work about it, and they're like, "Oh, would I like it?" And I'm like, "He's like, does it have like car chases and action?" I'm like, yes. Is it funny? Yes.
It's technically yes.
Yeah.
Technically yes.
Wait, asterisk,
Yeah.
after saying all that, technically yes, but also it is still a PTA movie.
Yeah.
It is still a weird 3-hour long
that's what he's
character.
Yeah, so this guy at work, we dog movies, and it's like, I was like, it's got the action, it's got car chases, you write
It's
cars
not-
off in the street, it's got all these boxes are ticked. Would you like it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's like, it's a bit long, and I don't know if you'd like it because it's not a mainstream.
It's also
Yeah.
full of racist humor.
well, but those are the bad guys. To
No,
be
no, I know,
to,
but
to,
it's also-
to, be-
it's
to be
also-
clear.
But they say and do things to evoke a laugh from the
Oh,
audience. It might
100%.
be-
Yeah,
that's
it's
what I mean.
funny. Yeah.
Hail Saint Nick. I'm just
That
like,
was all. Yeah,
Merry
that
Christmas.
stuff was so. Yeah,
just so weird and absurd.
that's the other thing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, and it's because it's based on a Thomas Pynchon novel, but it's more. I think it's inspired by him mostly. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't really
Yeah.
follow.
Well, that's one thing I'll say is if it is based on Vineland. So I'm like, maybe the characterization.
I think it's
problems
inspired by Vineland.
It's the same
Like, it's not-
story.
Not really.
I was reading about it. The book takes place in the 60s, so they had to update it for the modern period.
Yeah, which.
But the character arcs apparently are all largely the same.
No, I was reading it. It didn't seem to line up exactly. And
Well, it's like
there's
the
obviously
time difference is a bit difficult
true
to
too.
translate. But I'm like, since it is based on, inspired by whatever, it's possible that the characterization problems we're talking about stem from the source material. Do you know
maybe,
what I mean?
but then yeah.
So I'll give him a little bit of leeway
Mm.
because he also
But-
adapted Inherent Vice.
well, that
was
was my point. Is I think Inherent Vice was it was weirder and more free flowing
Yeah.
and it was very Pynchon-esque. And this one, you can see those elements and feel those elements, but it's more straightforward. It's
Yeah.
more mainstream. But to show it, like Nathan was saying, to say to someone, oh, it's an action comedy, you'll like this. It's not really something you can do. You still have to be a bit
Yeah.
like it's a bit.
yeah,
artsy.
everyone I say I
It's a
recommend
bit
it. I
arty, it's a
loved
bit-
it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But it's like it's action, yes, it's comedy, yes, it has all these elements,
Yeah.
yes. But would you like it? I don't
Exactly.
know, man. I don't know.
It has a great score though.
The
Yeah.
score
The
was
scores,
good.
the Johnny Greenwood
Johnny
score
Greenwood
is
of
amazing.
Yeah.
Radiohead.
So good.
Apparently, he used all kinds of machinery and to hook synthesizers up to and do all
Makes
kinds of
sense.
weird things. And there's photos of like this just instrument monstrosity of computers that he used, and like just hooked a keyboard up to it, and it made all kinds of
Yeah.
different fun sounds.
His scores, like I think he scored all of PTA's movies since at least There Will Be Blood, and they've always been amazing and unconventional, like
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
weird industrial and just So that's like really gives to the adds to the
adds to the weirdness of the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
a bit. Yeah,
It is also a really, if you like Leonardo DiCaprio, It's also one of his more solid efforts, and at this point he's already a good actor. Like, you know,
Yeah, I mean, he's
one of the best. But this is a really good entry into his canon.
I think Leo's such an interesting actor because he's this kind of tall, handsome guy who we've seen grow up on screen. Like, he's been acting since he was a kid. Like, he's still got this kind of youthful-ish, boyish face, even though he's much older now.
He still has a charisma to him.
Yeah, he's still charismatic, and he's still like this mega star. But especially in this movie, like, he has this ability to be relatable and likable. Yeah. And there's
he's just a guy.
There's a bit where he goes full Karen on the phone.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And it's like, I'm rooting for this guy even though he's like a stoner kind of loser dad. And there's this whole like political revolution going on. And it's just like so ridiculous what's happening. I think this is like a really good example of how like Leo being the perfect person for this role. Because you could get another actor who would be great, but it just wouldn't be the same. Like, I think he's both this incredible star, but also this everyman.
It's like he encompasses the tiredness of a dad.
Yeah,
very well in that particular scene. Like, imagine any of us like 16 years down the track, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, how do you do this?" And you're like, "I don't remember. I just clicked that. I've been a dad the whole time. Like 16 years. I don't remember this. Like, just do the thing for me, please."
He's vital to the project because like he's like Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. I can't imagine anyone else doing that role. Yeah. And I think it's the same with this one and Leo. He is the linchpin of the entire film in that his casting.
Yeah. Like someone else could have been cast, but it wouldn't have been as likable a character. It wouldn't have been as funny in certain ways. I also think
they lucked out with Sean Penn as Lockjaw.
I think
so good.
I think that's what I was going to say. I think one of the biggest strengths of this movie is its cast. I think everyone is perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Even Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn. They're like the trinity of the three leads that I would not change anyone in this movie for.
Who should we talk about first, Benicio or Sean Penn?
Let's talk about Sean Penn.
Okay. So Sean Penn plays
Vince McMahon. He plays Vince McMahon.
He plays Vince McMahon.
He plays the villain Colonel Lockjaw.
Perfect name for a villain.
Yeah. Who
80s action movie name.
Yeah, who represents, the sort of
ICE, essentially.
Conservative, straight-laced American military man who's fighting against Leo and his kind of a band of revolutionaries who are trying to...
I think specifically, like, it's the MKU, but I guess their modern equivalent would be like ICE or something like that. They're kind of more immigration control.
Oh, yeah. As far as they're definitely... It's just a general sort of... militarized militarized police. I mean, it's pretty close to reality now. But yeah, any sort of big American conservative corporate slash military government slash military oppressive force.
Yeah,
he's the sort of main villain. Going and after
his hair design. It's all over the joint.
It's like like a German World War II German soldier Hitler kind of comb over, but with the
shaved head,
undercut, like shaved sides. Yeah. And there's this bit where he licks his hand.
He licks the comb.
And the comb to and it's just the most disgusting
he's
movement.
Filth.
And and he's just this...
And he's perfect. And we love him.
Yeah, he has this weird, Vince McMahon ex-wrestler, top heavy,
he's carrying watermelons wherever he goes.
Yeah, this alpha, insecure alpha male, sort of,
and his legs walk funny too.
Yeah,
it's like
one of amazing. It's one of the great physical performances. Yeah, the way he moves his mouth, and it's like
there's elements of the Men in Black villain Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, he's uncomfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting though is especially in this political kind of social climate we live in now, it's definitely got this kind of insecure Andrew Tate alpha he
especially since that's explored in the movie too because he has relations with in this movie an African American woman And then he also wants to join a group of white supremacists.
Yeah.
And so
has to
it's
keep
kind of
that
like
secret.
he's trying to
it's
keep
like
that secret from them.
Yeah,
and
his
like,
secret is that he secretly loves black women, but
Yeah.
he's like a
he
super,
loves them.
Yeah, he's also a super racist. Like
That's one of the
Yeah.
funniest
military.
one of the funniest line reads in the film is he says to someone, you know, you like black women, I love black
Yeah.
women. And we're in the cinema watching it,
and we're just like,
there's
and
a-
then,
I think
and
there's
then Paul
there's
Thomas
5
Anderson
other
goes, action.
there's like 5 other people, maybe 5 or 6 other people in the cinema, and he says that we're laughing straight
This
away
is-
because
yeah.
it's just such a ridiculous.
It's
It's just
definitely
like
like-
line of dialogue.
there-
No one
there-
else was laughing.
there's a comparison that can be made to Eddington, which we talked about recently, where it's like it's about the political climate now. It's about the kind of crazy kind of right wing, socio-political thing that's going on now. And it's about the absurdness in the way people react and the absurdness of just the right wing, machine that is eating everything up and trying to destroy everything.
Well, it's also an interesting film because the French 75 are not very successful in what they do.
That's another thing. Like
They blow up buildings with no one in them.
watching,
They hold up a bank and someone dies as a result.
watching Sorry, go on, Callum.
I know. I was gonna say after James had seen it, before we went and saw the Smashing Machine, I was talking to James. I'm like, who do you think is the most successful revolutionary in the film? And it's like it's Benicio del Toro's character, the sensei.
Yeah.
Because instead of like the French 75 want to change the whole world. You know, they want to be the heroes of the modern era.
Keep the
Whereas-
spoilers light, boys.
Yeah. Whereas no, this is in the. I'm pretty sure you see some of this in the trailer. I think. Sensei is just more of a local guy,
Yeah.
and all the work that he does is like for his community. And it's like he's more successful than the French 75 because he's focusing his efforts on something that's more manageable.
Yeah, and he's keeping it low key.
Yeah. So it's like it lampoons the right with Lockjaw, but then it also, in my opinion, it shows the kind of fantasy that some people have of changing the world, of being like
Well,
I'm gonna be the one to affect change in the country.
This is I don't know if criticism is even the right word, but it's something I was thinking about, right? Seeing the trailer and, knowing it being about like these revolutionaries trying to change America from the inside, and then hearing people talk about the movie and the climax of the movie and how incredible and how there were people standing and cheering when the ending was happening and stuff. And then seeing the movie, this was something where I was like, oh, it's not really about the revolution at all.
Yeah.
No.
There's definitely that undercurrent. There's definitely that those themes in the movie. And like I said earlier, some criticisms like, the characters and the themes aren't maybe as explored as fully as they could be. And personally, I was kind of like a bit disappointed that it wasn't about the revolution. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, the movie's more about the chase. It's more about the, Leo trying to reignite with his daughter.
It's about
reunite
fatherhood.
with his daughter, yeah, and the sort of current political crisis that's going on in America is more like the backdrop to it. It's also interesting because like the first third of them, like it's quite long, is more just like a setup for Leo. It's almost like a backstory for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So in a way, you think you're watching one movie, and then it's just like, no, it's actually not really about that.
It's really just a human version of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, sort of.
That hill scene.
Yeah, there's a car chase at the
Yeah.
end which utilizes the California roads in the desert so simply but so effectively. You're like, I can't believe I haven't seen this done.
Well,
like
I read
this
someone
before.
was like, this feels like something Spielberg should have done.
Yeah,
Just the waves, like, oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like an ocean, but it's
Yeah.
like, of course,
Yeah,
it's on the road.
And it like again, because people were hyping it up so much and saying the end of the movie was so amazing and they were cheering and whatever, watching the end, I was like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. But
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat, and every time the car dips down below the horizon line, you can't see it anymore. I was like holding my breath, and then it would pop back up over the hill, and I'd be like, oh, like it was just so good. And the music and the
desert chores right there.
yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just the movie looked fantastic, and
Yeah, Sean Penn deserves an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor because
he's so good.
Probably one of the better boners I've seen in a film.
Yeah, he transforms himself for the role. You know what I mean?
Turns out he wasn't acting. He was
They had to leave it in because it just kept happening.
It's like, I love Blackburn.
Also,
Sean, your line was "Have a nice day."
Yeah, and also Benicio again in this movie too.
Oh my god,
a few small beers.
Yeah, that was ad-libbed.
Always.
That wasn't in the script apparently.
Benicio del Toro is always good, even if a movie is not so good. He's always amazing.
How much have you had? A few small beers.
Him in this movie, even in like a small like role, like everything he does is incredible.
Yeah,
like his physicality, his voice, like amazing. So he's so good in this movie. And like Callum was saying earlier, it's like if you think about the movie a bit more and like who was more successful.
He's the real revolutionary.
Yeah.
He's the quiet one that's been doing it for 50 years.
And especially at the end where I won't spoil what happens, but it's like, live to fight another day kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like lose the battle to win the war.
It's not about the glory.
Yeah. And also the movie is called One Battle After Another. It's like there's always going to be a fight. Tomorrow there's always going to be someone else to fight. There's always going to be, a reason to keep fighting. So, yeah, I think in that way, like, it was really satisfying. And, also, like, it's a very, definitely, I mean, you have to see it on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like I said earlier, it's
something I'll rewatch when it comes to
streaming. And something special because we don't get a lot of these anymore.
Yeah.
So, seeing it, it's like, even if I had some small problems with it, I was like, this is something that when I watch an old... You know how we watch old movies a lot and we go, oh, we don't get this feeling anymore.
Yeah. Like 90s action movies. Yeah.
This had that feeling, which we don't get a lot.
It's like if they suddenly made The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones... not Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones was in it, but Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford. Yeah. And that had never been a thing before.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that in this day and age and be like, oh my God.
We need to add Paul Thomas Anderson or maybe his agent. We need to put him on our Christmas card list and just be like, thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
Well, I think that won't be necessary when he wins all the Academy Awards for this one.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm sorry, Marty Supreme. I'm sorry, George Safdie, but PTA, the online movement, momentum behind this film was crazy.
Yeah. And like I said, it's like mainstream enough to where...
But also not mainstream at all.
Yeah, but it's like considering like, like something like Phantom Thread or even Licorice Pizza or,
it's still him.
Inherent Vice especially, it's like... Oh, those are great movies, and and might get awards, praise, and win awards. But they're not like there's not a lot of people who you could show them to and be like, hey, isn't this cool? But
this also has the most meme potential out of any of his movies.
There's so many great moments.
People GIFs are being made.
Yeah.
Clips. People are sharing them on Instagram. Yeah. So like a few small beers.
The selfie bit.
Yeah. Like these are things that people will be like, that's from One Battle After Another by Paul Thomas Anderson, and it'll be like your nonna. You know what I mean? Like your nonna's gonna be like a few small beers.
You know what I want to know how they did? I want to see it behind the scenes of how they did him falling off the building.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
And he hits all these branches on the tree and then he hits the ground and then he gets up and you can see it's actually Leo getting up. I'm like, did they digitally splice that or was he on wires? That was really well done. I really like that.
Yeah.
See, that's what I miss from movies. It's like, oh, how did they do that?
That's another thing. This movie is very technically impressive.
Yeah.
Like just at a level, it's very technically impressive.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people, cars... Shooting.
I would like to buy the 4K set, buy the Blu-ray set, and watch the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and no CGI bullshit that we see.
Very little CGI.
As much as I enjoyed Eddington, there are moments in that movie where I was like, "That's a green screen. That's a CGI bullet."
Yeah, but Paul Thomas Anderson put it on the screen, man.
Yeah, in One Battle After Another, I was like, "This feels like a '90s movie."
Yeah,
like I'm not taken out of one frame of this. It looks and feels and sounds.
And also the editing is so tight on this that even though it's a long film, it doesn't feel that long. It barrels along. That's right. It's like I compared it to Oppenheimer in the sense that even though Oppenheimer is a character drama, I watch Oppenheimer like maybe once every 3 months for some reason. I love it.
That was great.
But then, like I said, you watch it and it barrels forward.
Yeah.
We are running out of time. Alan, do you have any final thoughts?
Good movie. I had a laugh at the there's a scene that's very perverse in a way. You think, what's this director doing? And then you see which character's point of view it's from. you understand it and you have a laugh.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
The
about.
cheek. So,
Cheek.
yeah, I'll discuss it off air.
Yeah,
But it's
probably
definitely
not.
worth a watch. Like I
Alright.
said, I'm not a Paul Thomas Anderson aficionado, but I had a good time.
We'll get you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's worth seeing. If you haven't seen it, go see it at the movies.
Yeah.
Definitely worth seeing.
We're about all out of time for tonight. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will be at PAX over the weekend. If
Yes.
you listen to this and you're attending, let
Mhm.
us know.
Yeah,
We'd like to meet you. We'd like to say hello.
definitely.
We can have a few small beers.
Also, check out Ross Purdy's show 7th of October to the 12th of October. Ross Purdy performs at the Black Lodge, so check that out. Tickets are on sale. Opening nights tonight. With we still got a few days to see that.
Yeah. We are on all the socials that matter. At Tuesday Review AU. That's Facebook, Instagram, Threads. Unfortunately, you can't escape them all. We're
Well,
also on Blue Sky Newsmast.
did you say Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah.
And YouTube at Tuesday Review AU.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube. We want to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We're only a couple away, so...
We're also working on our own website, working blog posts to our heart's content.
Mm.
Because Substack fell to the Nazis.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We're also on Letterboxd. I'm Nathan B_90.
I'm channeldrifter.
I'm Alan20.
And I'm Callum Tuesday.
And we'll be back next week to talk everything PAX, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we're all dreadfully unwell from the PAX box.
Oh, yeah.
So can't be 100% certain, but I'm sure we'll make it. We'll be fine. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. Adios, cousins.